In this video, I'm going to go over the principles that I use for my own training and training my clients to get them in the best shape possible. If you're wondering why am I listening to this guy, I'm Dan Burke. I'm three-time world champion bodybuilder, current Mr. Universe, and I own Muscle Performance Coaching. And I use bodybuilding techniques to help you get in the best shape possible. So hopefully you're going to listen to some of these techniques and approaches. And if it resonates with you, take them on board, put them into your own training, and I guarantee you'll get way better results than what you're currently doing. So the first thing I like to instill in my clients is get your training right first. This is why the first video I'm doing like this is about training. Training is the ultimate domino effect. If you get your training really good and you're smashing the training, without caring about your diet will naturally get better because you're going to sleep more because you're knackered from the training, you're getting better sleep, your recovery is better, you're going to be hungrier from these solid workouts, your body's going to be screaming for some protein even without me saying, hey, get your protein up. You just naturally eat better. If you're training really hard, you're not going to come out of that session and go, let's get a Mackey's in or go for a takeaway. You're obviously going to eat a bit better just naturally when your training's really good. Plus, you're going to be a bit more active out of the gym. If you smashed a session, you're probably going to think, hey, I can probably walk to work instead of driving every day. And little things like that add up to a massive change in your body. So first principle is get your training right first. And that's why this video is going to be about training. Because I know you're going to want to change absolutely everything, your diet, your training and all this stuff, but it's too much at once. Just focus on your training and then we can focus on your diet and recovery and that later on. So the first thing I want to talk about with your training is change the workouts up. And I know a lot of people disagree with me on this. They're like, well, you've got a progressive overload, so you've got to make sure you're doing the same things, otherwise you won't know you're lifting heavier. But lifting heavier is not the only way to progressively overload the muscle. You can add more reps in, slow the reps down, use better form, all these things that will put more tension on the muscle. You're not trying to be a powerlifter. It doesn't matter what you lift. You just want to make sure you're putting as much tension on the muscle as possible. So change it up. The reason I suggest that is, let's say you start every single leg day with squats. You're going to get very good at squats because you've got all the energy in the world for it, because you're just starting your session off. And you can go super intense because it's the very first exercise. But let's say you've got stiff leg deadlifts at the end of every leg day. That exercise is never going to get a good fair whack because you're never going to have the energy to really push it because it's always left to the end of the workout. So swap it up. If you don't want to completely change the workout up, at least just change the order. So let's say you do squats, leg extensions, hamstring curls or whatever. The next week, start with leg extensions, hamstring curls, put the squats at the bottom. That is the very bare minimum amount of change you want to be doing. And that way, every single exercise gets a fair whack, and that's how you actually improve muscles. Otherwise, you're just going to get a very good squat. So a bare minimum, change the workout order, but I actually just change the workouts. I think when a coach gives you a workout plan and he's like, there's your chest day, go and do that for like 6 weeks. That's absolutely lazy ass coaching. That just do a different workout for each week, and your rep ranges and everything should be changing. So why on earth would you do the exact same workout for 6 weeks hoping to look any different? You've obviously got to change the workouts and the stimulus to the muscle if you want to improve. So my second principle is, now you know you should change the workouts week to week, I suggest you change the split that you do every 6 to 8 weeks. So let's say you do push-pull legs. That's a great split. No split is necessarily better than another. Push-pull legs isn't better than upper lower full body, for example. But if you stick to it for too long, just like doing the same workout for too long, it starts to lose its effectiveness. So let's say you're doing push and you do shoulders first, then go into chest and then triceps. The same thing that happens with the exercises, like before, you're going to get really good at squats if you always put them first. The same thing's going to happen with that. You're going to get really good at shoulders because you're doing that first with all your energy. And then when it comes to the triceps, you're not going to have enough energy to hit it properly. So I would suggest swapping it to like chest, back, shoulders, arms, legs and abs or something. So every like 6 weeks to 8 weeks you want to change it. So go from push-pull legs to chest, back, shoulders, arms, legs and abs, have a rest, do that again. And then you can go to like upper lower full body or whatever it is that you like to do, but change the split or go into a bro split. Don't just do the same split for 12 months thinking you're going to really improve. One, it keeps it fun. Two, as I just said, it stops you focusing too much on one body part with all your energy. And three, And 3, it actually helps with your strength, I find. So for example, on a chest and back day, because they're opposing muscles, you can go very heavy and very strong on those lifts, because as you're doing your chest, for example, your back is resting. But then when you go into like a push split, it's a lot more intense because it's like all push muscles getting work, so it's fatiguing, but it's not as heavy lifting. But they're both really good. You want to do both. Don't just stick to one style. That's why I recommend changing it every 6 to 8 weeks. And the third principle I want to talk about is one of the most important ones, but enjoy your training, chase the pump. And I know so many coaches go, oh, don't chase the pump doesn't mean you build a muscle. But it means you're enjoying the session. If you walk out the gym pumped to death, your chest is full like this and you're like, yeah, I feel great. Guarantee you're going to go to the gym next day feeling boss. Whereas if you go to the gym and you've lifted super heavy to the point that you can't even feel your chest, you're just like, oh my God, this is heavy, Jesus Christ. And you're training like a powerlifter wanting to be a bodybuilder, you're not going to enjoy that. It's so draining on your like central nervous system, and it's just not that enjoyable. Getting the pump and seeing yourself literally grow in the mirrors from set to set, and you're like, yeah, this is working. This is what I can look like this in a few weeks' time without a pump if I keep coming to the gym like this. That's what gets you kind of like addicted to going to the gym and loving it and really seeing your body shape and change. That's what I want for you guys. Don't go to the gym and hate the session. I'd rather you go do a pump session, feel really good and solid, and it keeps you consistent in the gym, keeps you going over and over, and that way you'll get in really great shape. Principle 4, I've gone over a bit in this, but you are not a powerlifter. You do not want to be a powerlifter. No one cares when you're walking down the street if you can bench 150 kilos or not. They care if you've got a good looking body, if you've got a big chest, if you look in shape. If you're trying to look better, fit your clothes better, be confident at the beach, stop trying to lift like a powerlifter. Your muscle does not care the amount of weight that it's under. It cares about the tension. So you want to put your muscle under as much tension as possible. So you can do intensity techniques like drop sets, supersets, rest pauses, stuff like this to really push past failure, without just constantly, I'm going to lift heavier, I'm going to lift heavier. You wanting to lift heavier every single session, you thinking that you're putting 2.5 to 5 kilos on your bench every session is what's stopping you from getting a really good chest. If you want to get a good chest, control the weight, do intensifiers like I just said, or slow the motion down, really focus on form and put the muscle under as much tension as possible. That's what's going to make it grow, not just sheer weight, because you're going to start to use momentum to get it up, which isn't using your muscles. You're going to start using the wrong muscles. You're going to throw your shoulders into your bench. This is why a lot of people have shoulder injuries, because they're trying to bench way more than they can actually bench with the pecs. So make sure you're actually using the muscle that you want to use. This is why I said about pump workouts being so good, because if you go and do chest and you get a good pump on your chest, you know you're actually working your chest. If you go to the gym and you're like, hey, why are my shoulders feeling pumped when I'm hitting chest? Because you're not doing your chest properly and your form's probably quite bad. That's why you're feeling it in your shoulders and you need to adjust it. That's also why I suggest focusing on the pump, so you know you're actually training the right muscles and you're using the right amount of weight. I don't know if this is a principle, but I'm going to add it in for you guys anyway. But when you're training, try and find a gym with an environment that's actually going to motivate you. If you're going to like a Pure Gym or a JD Gym and you're looking around and people are in jeans, nobody there is in shape, not a single person is even pulling the face because they can't be bothered going that intense to actually make any muscle change, you're not going to look that good. You're going to go to that gym and slowly over time, even if you are super ambitious and going in smashing it at first, soon that's going to fade because you're going to adapt to the people around you and start giving low effort just like them. So what I would suggest is try and find an independent gym, a bodybuilding gym ideally. If you look around and see bodybuilders, even if you don't want to be a bodybuilder, it's going to motivate you to build more muscle and lose more body fat, which is basically all bodybuilding is, but taken to the extreme. So if you're looking around the gym and there's absolute monsters everywhere smashing the gym, I guarantee that's going to rub off on you soon and you're going to train harder. Plus, most bodybuilders are the nicest guys in the world. If you actually just go, hey mate, why are you doing that? Or hey mate, like, how did you get shoulders like that? They'll probably just tell you and give you advice anyway. And you'll progress a lot further than if you go to a commercial gym where even the PTs aren't even in shape. So what hope do the people who go there actually have of getting in shape? So go to an independent gym. You're going to meet like-minded people. Everyone's dead friendly. Everyone's in the same boat. Everyone wants to push just as hard as you. And when you get to meet people, this is how you get real good gym partners and training partners and even lifelong friends. So I will massively suggest finding a good independent gym that really motivates you to train as hard as possible. Oh, and a final thing on that subject, a lot of people say, well, I just train at home. I get a good workout at home, or I've got gym anxiety. I don't want to go to the gym. I'm telling you now, that is absolutely nothing in comparison to training in a gym. Training in a gym will always be the best possible way of building muscle. The gym was built and designed to help you build muscle and get in shape. Your little squat rack in the garden is not anything in comparison to that. I do get that it's a good thing to have if you're busy and you can't get to the gym, but it is not a substitute for the gym. Always try and go to the gym. When people say like, you can just do some press-ups in the house or you can do a kettlebell workout. No, you cannot. It's not going to stress your body enough to build muscle. Is it okay as like a bit of general fitness? Yeah, but if you really want to change and shape your body, you have to go to the gym. Whether it's slowly building up over time and trying to get over the anxiety. So you go to the gym once and you go late at night when no one's going to be there and stuff like that, and slowly build up the confidence of going to the gym. But in all honesty, you are not going to train at home and really change the way that you look. So try your absolute best to get to the gym as much as you possibly can. That is the biggest game changer for anyone who says, oh, I just work out at home or I have a good setup at home. It's nothing compared to a gym unless you're a millionaire and like Mark Wahlberg. But even so, like I said before, you want a place with an atmosphere. You want other people around you training hard. And when you're training at home alone, you don't get that. And slowly but surely, you're going to start training less and less and less intense. Whereas if you go to the gym, you train more and more and more intense. And that's how you get in really good shape. So yeah, this was just a quick video to go over some of the principles that I believe in and I use for my clients and myself to get in the best shape possible. But if you have any specific training questions, please comment down below and I'm happy to answer all of them. Obviously, I can't think of all of the principles that I have for training off the top of my head. I just thought I'd go for like 3 or 4 and get them out in this video for you. So if these training principles and ideas resonated with you and you think, yeah, that's how I'd like to train, or I want to work with Dan, just click on the assessment in the description below and fill it out. And that way I'll have all the information I need to give you the best advice possible to help you get in the best shape possible. And I'll be in touch for free within 24 hours. So hopefully you enjoyed the video and I'll be following it up with my principles and ideas when it comes to dieting next.